in to work with you. It's going to be a psychologist. It's going to be someone who's trying to become a shrink or whatever. And they're going to sit down and you're going to see fear in their eyes. They're going to look at you because you are a convict. You're a convicted felon. They're going to sit down across from you and they're going to be scared. And that look of fear in someone's eyes is the absolute shittiest experience on planet Earth. It's not something that I can describe, but it is the worst feeling on earth. And you know, it's not your fault. It's probably the 40 convicts she saw earlier that week, right? At least one of whom whipped their junk out or did something else that was just abhorrent. But that look of fear that people see will make you wish that that you picked a different line of work, right? At a younger age. It's depressing.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with all of that. And I've been both fear and loved. And I absolutely love, even in like in a prison setting. First of all, I feel like you can't trust people that fear you, because if I'm living in fear, I might start to plot. You know what I mean? And I feel like if people love you, you can trust them more. Yeah, I mean, not that you know, I haven't been betrayed by someone who I felt loved me and I love them. But definitely, yeah, I feel like people will start plotting on you if they fear you too much. Like, I guess it just depends if they fear you physically or I don't know.
Yeah. Cat Dam says the defense is saying now they have proof. The prosecution had an inside man. Well, I'd be shocked as crap if they didn't. Are you kidding me? You know how many people in that unit are trying to give them information on Diddy? Right? I would be blown away if there weren't 5 or 6 people that are inside people that are telling them everything that's going on in there. And that's any intake unit. That's any place waiting. These people all have a case hanging over their head. And when you hear someone say, well, they cut a deal, the deal doesn't have to be about what you were doing. You could be in there for drug dealing, but you hear some idiot come off the street. This is a true story. When I was in for the pew-pews, no, I'm sorry. When I was in for the bank robberies, I'm sitting in there, and this kid they called Red hair, right? Little goatee, comes in from the street, and I knew Red from the street, not like well, but I always saw him around the same parks where I was copping dope because he was one of those dudes. So he comes in and he goes, "Oh man, dude," he goes, "I'm going away for the rest of my life." I said, "Dude, take a deep breath, man. Shut up. Maybe don't talk to everybody about what you got going on, right? It's dangerous." I go into my room, I'm reading a little book. I come back out and he's telling the story of how he stabbed a dude to death 4 hours earlier. And there's like 5 guys at the table just like taking notes. And I took the kid aside and I said to him, I don't know which one of those guys is going to get the deal, but one of them is going to rat you out. I'm just telling you right now. And the crazy thing is they all did. They literally all did. Every one of them called their attorney and said, "Hey man, this dude just confessed to." They all are trying to figure out a way to get out of trouble. I promise you. And yeah, I'd be really surprised if there aren't a lot of people in there that are giving info. But they took pictures. By the way, there's nothing wrong with having an inside man. You understand that? From the court standpoint, what do they care? That's just called a confidential informant. They love those people. They don't have a problem with those. They give them good deals.
Yeah, that might be something to ask old boy if I get a chance to talk to him again.
Yeah, that would be a great question to ask him. You know, it's funny too. What's funny is I saw a couple of videos that people were making today talking about him, being on a living watch again. And the funniest thing, people, as that stuff starts to come out, listen to how they describe what that is. If he's on the watch, he's in a room where one wall is glass, right? Where the door should be is glass from floor to ceiling. It's not even like there's a window. It's glass. And there's going to be a person in a chair like this for 4 hours. And then somebody's going to replace that dude. He's going to sit in the chair. There's going to be 2 eyes on that dude 24 hours a day. That's not happening. It sounds good, but it's not happening.
No, I know. I seen something too. I was just like, this dude's lying right now.
Do you believe everything Ali Carter and that Ali Carter says and that Jaguar Wright said? I believe that both of them have survived some pretty incredible stuff.
Who's
I
Allie
think
Carter?
Allie Carter is a young woman who has talked a lot about. She's a survivor of trafficking, and I believe that wholeheartedly. Some of the stories that have come out concerning the things like the tunnels that have a Starbucks in them, right? Um, and some of the huge setups that are involved with the human T. I don't believe some of that stuff, and I don't. That does not mean that I think the girl's a liar. I think that when you start getting given stuff like GHB and they're smuggling you from one place to another, I think maybe she ended up in a Starbucks at some point. There's no Starbucks in a tunnel anywhere in this country. Nobody dropped $1 million bucks on a
No.
yeah. I mean, on
That's
a
dumb.
franchise to put.
Why would they need a Starbucks? They could pay some dude just to make
And all
them
of
coffee.
those. Look, every time you add one more person to a conspiracy, right, the odds of you getting caught go through the freaking roof. It's
Yeah.
just how it works. There's going to be somebody that gets bummed out and loses their job. With that kind of an operation, the first person that decides they're not working there anymore, and you're in real trouble. Or do you bump off every single person? You know, and how do you say to a person, well, we got you a job. You're working at Starbucks. This Starbucks, however, is going to be in a tunnel where people are smuggling kids. And I'm not sure, you know what I mean? It defies logic. Now, that doesn't mean that weird stuff didn't happen, but I just can't see it. Sorry.
Yeah. I seen like the last 20 minutes of a JD Delay live yesterday, and he had a girl on that had been sex trapped, ST'd.
Yeah.
And she was amazing. She's doing like an awareness thing, just talking about like, just the things to look for with your kids and like the kind of information you put online, what apps to use and not to use, how to like keep your phone safe. She was amazing.
You don't get a RICO case with one person, Jellycats. There's going to be many other people listed in the RICO case, and we're going to start to hear those names on the first day of February. We're going to see them put up the depth chart, just like you see with gangsters, and it's going to have the names at the top, and it's going to be the people below, and it's going to tell you what those people did. We're going to see that happen. I want to believe Jag. I really like her, but have seen her admit things in interviews that are not very nice. But I still like her, but still stand off a bit. I've done some things in my past that are not things I'm proud of, and I've been pretty open and pretty honest about that. I've always been real honest. There are things that I believe Allie's a trafficking victim. I don't doubt that for a second. I don't. I just don't believe that there are tunnels with Starbucks in them. Does not mean I'm questioning that person was trafficked. I question some of the details, and I'll tell you something. And you guys can all get mad at me, but when a child is taken and tortured, which is what this is, very often the brain, to deal with it, to cope with it, will fracture. It literally will do what it has to do to survive. And memories sometimes can get hammered.
Oh, yeah.
Get reassembled. And I'm not doubting. I am
It's
not
happened to me
doubting.
before.
Me too.
Yeah.
I talk about this a lot on the boat. I can pass a lie detector test for where I was during a certain period of time, and I wasn't there. I wasn't even in that state. But I'm 100% sure it happened, even after I'd been proven that it couldn't.
I think of I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I think of stories all the time, and I'll be like telling someone or telling my wife about it, and I'll be like, yeah, we're gonna call my brother right now, and I'll call him, and he'll be like, dude, that's not how that happened.
Right.
He's like, this was like this, and I'm like, what do you mean? But in my head, dude, I'm like, I know that's what in big stuff, not just like a time or a date or a place, people that were there and like whose house we were at, or something major. And I'm just like, man, that is crazy that my brain can do that. And this is all pre-prison stuff, stuff from like
Yeah.
Or like in that last year of when I was an addict before prison. Well, I was only an addict a year before I went to prison, but I don't know. Crazy.
I respect the counselors more than you could possibly imagine. It's an incredibly, incredibly difficult job. And these people don't end up fearing us because they're bad people. They end up fearing us because they have to deal with the worst of the worst. And for every Casper, right, there's 5 or 6 people that are just so horrific in how they treat people that it causes them to be afraid of all of us. But what's amazing is from time to time, you will meet somebody in that job and they look at you like you might be the governor. And there is no expression at all in their face. They don't judge you. They don't do anything. And those people will change your life. They don't come around very often. But they're pretty impressive. I love counselors. If she gets mad, said out of her mouth, she says things to get the interview demonetized on purpose, and don't feel it's right to other podcasts. But it's all. But you are right, Tommy. I am very, very picky. Yes, I'm doing Night Yard tomorrow night, to be sure. I'm very selective with the people that I have on my channel. And there are big names that I've had the opportunity to get on this channel and I haven't, because I don't want to platform anybody I'm not sure of. I like being on other panels with people. I like asking people questions. I have platformed people in the past and then felt stupid afterwards for doing it. Like Casper, I'm not worried about. You know what I mean? But to get into the I'm not worried about you club is probably a tough thing to do. I'm glad that I've got some people that I really trust.
That's cool, brother.
It's hard to get into. Yeah. And yeah, those people are way underpaid. To be sure, they are way underpaid. There was a doctor. Good night, Tony. I thought you were saying good night. Yes, I will keep the crew tight. I promise you. I don't want this to get out of control. I really don't. You know, the last thing. There's so much room for this to go boom, right? It just has the and I'm talking about the Diddyverse in general. Do you understand? There was so much. If you believe that the Chris Todd and Courtney Burgess book was a con, then it is the perfect example of what can happen in this environment. There's so much. There's so much. I don't know what the right word is. There's too much cash that people want to spend to find out more about this. There's not much that people wouldn't do to get more info, and we got to be careful because people start making stuff up. It's one of the things that happen, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to the mods. Yeah, that's a great shout out.
Always.
What do you think?
I love your mods.
That's
what I think about
Eileen Bradley. What a great comment. That's a great comment.
It's hard to stay on topic when your brain has been hardwired. Keep you from fully. Yeah.
A lot of these people, the very act of their what turned them into a victim in the first place has rewired their brain and made it very difficult for them to come out and talk about that in a way that is concise and clear and to stay on topic. And I get that. I really, really do. I get that. Thank you, Jordan. I'm pretty proud of the people that I have on this show. I really am. I'm very, very proud of the people that I have on my show. You are going live tonight, are you not? You saw it?
Me?
Yeah.
I was going to, but it's.
You don't have a man in your family.
I just worked. First, I don't have the videos I wanted to show tonight up and ready to go right now. I might though. I'll take a shower and see how I feel. See what's going on in the family room.
See how far the man has come, people. He's showering now. I mean, it's a hell of a start.
But I want to start doing something every Saturday night.
I love that idea.
Yeah,
I love that idea. Then you should definitely fire it up. If you don't do it tonight, you should fire it up next Saturday, and I will stop by and help you get the inaugural. You can't do
that would be great. That would be great.
You can't do it on account of the fact that we do Night Yard on Sundays.
Yes.
I love that. I love that program. And you know what? We're getting a lot of really good feedback on Night Yard. I love that it's taken off and that people are digging it. It's a yeah, you definitely want to go over and check out the merch. We got some really funny shirts over there now.
I wonder if we should make Night Yard its own channel at some point.
I would not at all be adverse to that. That could be fun.
Yeah. And then we could do interviews.
Folks. Good, Michelle. What's up?
Then we could do interviews, interview other convicts, or I mean, there's already a bunch of channels doing that, but
yeah, but it would be different just because we're so damn cool. I said it.
No, that's so true, man.
You know what I mean? That's
yeah.
Anybody can be a convict, but to get
and I think there's booking agents out there that can book people too.
We actually have a pretty decent booking agent. I got a person that's been doing this forever. I didn't know how. I've told the story a million times. I got a call way back in the day out of the blue. This is how it started with Surviving the Survivor. I got a call out of the blue. An email. A guy says, "Hey, you need to call me right now. I got you booked for Tuesday at whatever." And I'm like, "What is this?" So I called the person. He's like, "Yeah, I was able to get you on the show. You're going to be on Tuesday." I'm like, "Who are you?" He's like, "Your agent. I got you booked." I went, "All right." That person has gotten me on like 5 shows. I've never asked anything from me. And what is the name of Casper's channel? Please put up a link to Casper's channel, people. That's just downright awful. That would be Legal Live Wire News.
I am going to get Inside. I have another channel called Inside the Mind. But I don't. There's no content on it yet. That's the one I'm going to do interviews where I'm going to talk to convicts and addicts and just ask them like, what was going on in your life before you did your first crime or you did your first drug? Like what was your thinking? I just want to like do it from like that first point. And then how it changed and then how you got better.
I think that's a great idea, man. I really
and not like a soft white underbelly where it's like, man, yeah, you look how bad you are. No, I don't want that. Well, he doesn't only do that. He does do people that aren't like just full blown in their addiction still. Jordan,
don't listen to anybody in NA because they're screwing up, right? It's not their fault. They just don't know any better. Forgive them. But you're 7 years clean. The rest of that, don't do butt. The hell's butt? You're 7 years clean. God bless you. That is freaking awesome. Good for you. No butts.
Yeah.
No butts.
And methadone's great.
Yeah. You're getting the job done. You're good to go. I'm proud of you. And I need that. All right. Now I'm going to have to go, people, because I just can't stay in the seated position any longer. It's why I haven't done shows last night or today. My back has just been off the hook.
You've been on like 5 shows today.
Yeah, I didn't do any on the lifeboat. And I only watched for a very short period of time.
While I was tattooing, I did watch Chase the Heat too. That was good. Super good.
That was a good show, wasn't it?
Well, I was covered in blood and ink, so I couldn't touch my phone or anything. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
People with Tommy, with Diddy in jail, the feds are the ones to investigate. So the Tupac murder, so Keefy D just there's a new letter. We'll be going over it. But so Keefy D is really implicating Diddy in this, and why wouldn't he? I mean, you talk about good timing. I mean, holy hell, dude!
Perfect,
he's never been happier in his life. He's gonna spoon feed them. I got to be honest with you. I'm sure that Diddy wanted them dead, but I don't think that's the story. However,
did you see that motion his lawyer did with the it's an illegal prosecution because none of the other people are alive? That was a great argument.
Yeah, it really is, man. It's a legit argument.
Everybody
that's in the car is gone except KPD.
Yeah, because none of those guys can say they can't defend themselves.
No.
Or something like that. The way, man, it was a great argument.
What they've done is they had all of this info all the way back then, but they waited for everybody to die to do it, so that in essence he can no longer. It is a legit argument. How do you defend yourself if you waited until all my witnesses are dead? It's a pretty good argument. I'm sorry, it really is. It's a pretty good argument.
Yep, and they had all the information,
Love that.
Oh,
Sorry, love
thanks.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big things are happening. All right, I'm gonna go and stand up and walk around. And if you go live, I'll probably pop in on my phone. And if you don't, I'll just mock you and say you haven't got a man in your family. Because that's how I get down.
Well, I probably will, but it won't be for like an hour or so.
Okay. That's better.
Yeah. But if people have notifications turned on and they're awake, I mean, I know a lot of the lifeboat probably don't stay up too late. I don't know. Maybe everyone just is 24 hours a day.
Oh, I'll tell you something too. You're going to catch you're going to catch the fan base that we've got in Europe. We got a lot of people from the Attwood program, so they love it when we go live. The closer we get to midnight, the more closer it is to 8 o'clock in the morning over there. And it's a great crew. It's like doing a morning show. I love it.
Oh,
I really do.
Wow, yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
Yep, cool. All right, guys.
All right.
She is a rock star, man.
She gets a lot done, and she does it at a speed that makes no sense to me. I think she may be AI. I'm not 100% sure.
She's like the Jamie of Joe Rogan, but we don't have her look up stuff.
Shannon Trim wrote, "I'm a night owl."
She's a great producer, though.
And I read, "I'm night owl." I'll tell you something. I knew a homeboy in prison that they called night owl, but I'm like, just look at the kid he's hugging, but there's no way he could be out by now. So, all right, folks. I really do appreciate you. I do need Reese to help me with my back. That's not even a joke, and she would. All right, people, we will see you on the next one. Between now and then, reach out and try to save somebody. God bless.
Mahalo.
Mahalo. You are a gentleman.